Hi, in this video I will talk about the divorce surah considering the current social paradigm and social relationships and marriage. So in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, let's read it. O you prophet, when your people divorce the woman, you shall ensure that a divorce interim is fulfilled. You shall measure such an interim precisely. You shall reverence God your Lord. Do not evict them from their homes, nor shall you make life miserable for them, to force them to live in their own, unless they commit a proven adultery. These are God's laws. Anyone who transgresses God's laws commits an injustice against himself. You never know, maybe God wills something good to come out of this. So this is very important. So divorce interim is the period of divorce, and it is not only including marriage, like a signed marriage, because at that time, so the marriage is concept of the Quran is different. So two people promise, and there are witnesses. They pay some money, and there is a there is established uh, confidence. But sometimes there are couples. Sometimes I don't think they have to be like signed in signed marriage. I don't think it's a thing. And once the interim is fulfilled, you may reconcile with them equitably, or go through with separation equitably. You shall have two equitable witnesses witness the divorce before God. So this is important and interesting that people witnesses. So it may also reduce the trauma, and because there are people, other people are aware of it, and they don't consider them as in relationship sense, and it may give them a sense of completed the divorce. This is to enlighten those who believe in God and the last day. Anyone who reverences God, he will create an exit for him, and will provide him whence he never expected. Anyone who trusts in God, he suffices him. God's commands are done. God has decreed for everything is fate. So it's important that God knows every human being. Uh, as for the women who have reached menopause, if you have any doubts, their interim shall be 3 months. As for those who do not menstruate and discover that they are pregnant, their interim ends upon giving birth. Anyone who reverences God, he makes everything easy for him. So the thing that I understand that the interim, so males, so this is interesting because I never realized that so far. So that if the female is pregnant and they have to wait in the relationship. I mean, they're not doing relationship, but they at least can live together and until the giving birth. So this is important to reduce the stress, pregnancy stress, because female can be alone, lonely, and it's a very important period. Anyone who reverences God, he makes everything easy for him. So it also supports people psychologically. If you believe in God, and God will make things easy for you. This is God's command that he sends down to you. Anyone who reverences God, he remits his sin and rewards him generously. You shall allow them to live in the same home in which they live with you, and do not make life so miserable for them that they live on their own. If they're pregnant, you shall spend on them until they give birth. If they nurse the infant, you shall pay them for the service. You shall maintain the amicable relations among you. If you disagree, you may hire another woman to nurse the child. So here we see that Quran considers that child raising is very important and very important responsibility, and even their relationship is better, worse, they shouldn't do this. And this is another interesting thing. It says, do not make life so miserable for them, because do not stress them. And if you stress the pregnant woman, it can cause a very big problems. It can cause baby to have diseases or something. So you shouldn't make them bad. And guys should support them financially. The rich husband shall provide support in accordance with his means, and poor shall provide according to the means that God bestowed upon him. God doesn't impose on any soul more than He has given it. God will provide ease after difficulty. Many a community rebelled against the commands of its Lord and against His messenger. Consequently, we held them strictly accountable and required them a terrible requital. They suffered the consequences of their decisions, a profound loss. God has prepared for them a severe retribution. Therefore you shall reverence God. O you who possess intelligence and believed, God has sent you a message.